You ever wake up to the sound of champagne, corks popping, and a 900-pound grizzly bear growling all at once? Yeah, that happened. And it's the day I learned HOA Karen's shriek could probably crack glass a mile away. She thought she was taking over an empty stretch of beach for her precious HOA summer bash. Had her guests all set up with margarita machines and expensive banners, acting like they owned the whole coast. She never figured she was trespassing on a licensed wildlife reserve, or that the same guy she once fined for not trimming my palm fronds, was the caretaker of a bear who could flatten her imported ice sculpture without breaking a sweat. I'm telling you, when Samson let loose with that first rumble, the look on her face, you'd pay for it on pay-per-view. By the time the police showed up, margaritas were soaking into the sand, beach chairs bobbing in the surf, and Karen was up on a cooler, accusing me of unleashing a wild beast on taxpayer land. It looked like a circus, but the real show started months before when I bought that piece of beach the HOA thought they owned. I didn't move to Sea Breeze Estates for drama. Just wanted a quiet place by the ocean, room to breathe, and a space for Samson, who's been with me since he was a cub I rescued from a backwoods zoo. The state gave me a special permit. Samson had a better enclosure than most folks' pools, steel fencing, cameras, the works. I figured we'd just blend in. But Karen, president of the HOA, clipboard glued to her hand, smile like a bear trap, she saw me as her new project. First week, she comes by, tells me wild animals, man caves, and masculine decor don't fit the HOA vibe. I hand her the permit, explain the law. She snaps a photo, mutters about property values, and walks off. That was just her opening move. Next thing I know, I'm getting letters about animal breathing disturbances at night, fines for illegal construction, when I'm just clearing driftwood, even a landscaper poking around measuring my palms. Nobody on the board would cross her, and the neighbors mostly pretended to agree with her, though you could tell from the text they were just trying to survive. Me? I kept to myself, fixed up the enclosure, and kept records of every petty complaint and threat. My dad always said, "Write it down, you'll need it." Then comes her big play. She announces the annual HOA beach party, prints up flyers with the event smack on my property. I point this out, and she waves me off. The beach belongs to the people. That stretch belongs to me and Samson, I say, and you could hear a pin drop. She laughs in front of everyone. Bring your teddy bear if you behave. That's when I knew I wouldn't stop her. I let her learn the hard way. So I play along, wave when she passes, even offer to help set up. Meanwhile, I call the sheriff, wildlife inspector, and county office, triple-checking my paperwork, getting every boundary marker updated with GPS. The morning of the party, I'm on the porch, sipping coffee, watching her plant that HOA flag like she's storming Normandy. Her husband tries to back their golf cart near Samson's fence to unload coolers. Samson gives a deep, rolling growl. Suddenly it's chaos. People screaming, drones dropping, Karen running up yelling about dangerous animals. I hand her the deed, highlighted, laminated, county seal, and all. When the cops arrive, they look over my papers, tell her she's trespassing, and Samson punctuates it with another rumble, like he rehearsed it. Karen's out of there faster than you'd think possible in heels. Word spread fast. Within hours, there were memes, neighbors sending me bear emojis, but under the laughter, you could feel a storm coming. Karen, humiliated? She wasn't done. She started plotting her comeback before the sun went down. The next morning, my phone is blowing up. Half the neighborhood congratulating me, the other half warning Karen's already scheming. I walk the sand picking up her trash, soggy banners, crushed plastic cups, the usual HOA fallout, while Samson keeps watch. That afternoon, a letter arrives. HOA letterhead, gold foil, demanding I remove my unauthorized wildlife facility for community safety. It would have been funny if it wasn't so desperate. I send everything to my lawyer, Laura, best in the state for property fights, tongue sharp as barbed wire. She laughs. They're bluffing, but document everything. I already had. That night, Karen's pacing her driveway, on the phone, pointing at my place like she's planning an airstrike. Her husband looks like he's aged 5 years in a day. I just keep washing my truck. The next morning, the board shows up, trying to inspect Samson's enclosure. I walk them through it, hand them permits. One whispers, cleaner than the HOA pool. Karen must have loved that. By the weekend, they're threatening $500 a day fines. Laura just snorts. They can't fine you for what's not theirs. Hit him with a cease and desist. I agree, but I know Karen's not done. Next, a local news van rolls up. Karen's got a reporter in tow, acting the concerned citizen, pushing for a dangerous bear in the suburbs story. I hand them my licenses, the deed, even a sheriff's card. The reporter's smile falters, and Karen flushes red, caught again. But this just fires her up. She calls the county, claims Samson's polluting the sand. Inspectors show up, check the filtration, leave laughing, say it's the cleanest setup they've seen. She keeps pushing, complaints, rumors, every trick in the book. What she doesn't know is that by then, I've got cameras up everywhere, recording everything. And that's when it happens. Midnight, alarm goes off. I catch her, Karen herself, in a hoodie, trying to film my bear in the dark. When I call her out, she stammers some story about public safety. I point to the camera, remind her she's trespassing again, and she storms off. After that, her mask really starts to slip. Board members start avoiding her, even apologize to me, quietly trying to broker peace. I don't bite. Instead, I reinforce the fencing, update the signage, keep my lawyer on speed dial. She tries one last public stunt. I save our neighborhood, rally, folding chairs and flyers, but only 6 people show up. When I step out holding the permit, they scatter. That's when she snaps. But instead of more letters, this time it's a lawsuit filed by her husband, accusing me of endangerment, reckless wildlife keeping, the whole 9 yards. Laura's ready. We'll need to show your gold-plated legal. So I over-prepare, security, cameras, fresh vet certificates, everything. Then a white SUV, county inspectors, shows up with Karen lurking behind. I give them the tour, paperwork, everything. They leave impressed, Karen looking like she swallowed a lemon. Laura calls, "You're cleared." But Karen gets the news on local TV, spins the story, gets a few nervous neighbors to complain about roaring at night. I post a calm video. Samson eating all the legal docs, the county's letter. It goes viral. The comments are brutal. Karen tries to confront me, calls me out in front of the mailbox, voice shaking. "You've turned everyone against me." "No, Karen, you did that the day you trespassed for your party." She storms off. That night, 2 teenagers, dared by Karen, I'm sure, try to film Samson. He growls. They bolt, drop their phone. On the video, I see Karen's car parked down the road, headlights off. I bring it straight to the sheriff. He shakes his head, says she's pushing too far, files it as harassment. But she doesn't quit. Next day, she films herself at my gate, ranting about dangerous animals. Samson walks up behind the glass and stares at her. She shrieks, falls over a chair, and the whole neighborhood sees it on the security feed. By now, she's a meme. Her support is crumbling, but you can almost feel the tension building. It isn't over, because people like Karen don't stop when they lose. They break rules, not habits. Days pass. My cameras catch someone, her again, tampering with the gate at night, trying to make it look like Samson could escape. The cops come, see the marks, see the bear safe and calm. Karen insists she heard a bear loose, but all she's got is a blurry phone video of shadows and wind. They warn her about false reports, but her anger is white-hot now. The next night, she tries again, caught on camera with bolt cutters. This time, I call the sheriff while she's still on the property. They catch her in the act, arrest her for trespass, tampering, reckless endangerment. The board sends a bland apology, neighbors start bringing pies instead of complaints, and even the HOA, in its dying breath, distances itself from her chaos. But even from jail, Karen sends one last lawsuit. Emotional distress, defamation, every desperate charge she can muster. Laura laughs, says the judge will swat it down, but I still have to prep for court. At the hearing, Karen tries to play the victim, but Laura's got all the footage, trespass, tampering, false reports. The judge tosses her claim, warns her about harassment, and orders her to keep away from me and my property. After that, the community changes. Kids start coming to see Samson. Neighbors linger with coffee and real smiles. Even the board president resigns, and whispers of dissolving the HOA turn into a vote. Signs come down, the beach opens up, and suddenly the place feels lighter, like the first breath after a storm. Months pass. I get a letter, handwritten, shaky, from Karen. She says she built her life around control, lost herself in it, and admired Samson for what he represents: freedom within limits, strength without cruelty. I leave the letter unread on my desk. Maybe one day she'll find peace, but it's not on me anymore. A new family moves in, kids laughing, no clipboards, no rules. They love hearing about Samson, love the idea of a wild creature thriving beside their home. For the first time, the beach feels alive again. One morning, Laura calls, state dissolved the HOA. You're free, she says, and for the first time in forever, I believe her. Looking back, it all feels almost unreal. The chaos, the fights, the wild nights, and courtroom drama. I walk the beach at sunset, Samson at my side, thinking about what it means to survive someone else's obsession. Maybe that storm was necessary, to burn away what was broken, so something real could grow. And as I listen to the tide, the gulls, and the slow, steady breathing of the bear I saved, I wonder, what would you have done in my shoes? When does standing your ground turn into winning a war you never wanted? Drop your thoughts in the comments. Let's hear what you think about justice, about control, about what we really owe each other at the edge of the wild.